Hello, welcome to my channel, Art Dragon Blade, and today I'm trying to figure why my system running a little bit warmer than usual on a barely any load, like 14%, just turning this thing on. And I'm like, it should be like 109, that's fine, but popping up 130, and I have a custom cooling pad, so yeah, let's try figure out what's going on. One, you don't see Harley Danks running. I have nothing really in the background. Just running like 14%. So we're gonna do light diagnostic, little mod, and probably change out the thermal pace. So here we go. I will put the system specs here, and of course I'm gonna leave my custom cooling pad on it. So yeah, pretty much a typical gaming laptop I'm using for watching YouTube, etc. Tools I'm gonna be using: iFixit, thermal paste I'm gonna use, and thermal pads, and a little heatsink I'm gonna mod. I'm gonna use using these tools because I don't have my Dremel. So let's go ahead and do the teardown. It's a little bit dusty. By the way, if my camera has been acting up, if you see pixely or turning really crappy, it's my camera. I don't know what's wrong with it. So just bear with me, because later on in the series, it just got worse. I don't know why. I've been playing around with settings, trying to get best quality I can out of it. So you go see quality change through the whole process doing this video. So sorry, I'm gonna try and buy a new camera in the near future. For now, I'll just work what I got and roll with it. So just bear with me. And thanks to iFixit, I could pop this thing off of it really easily instead of using a flat blade knife. I'm using professional tools now. That's the best gift to give. Really, it's nice receiving too. Appreciate it. After removing the last little clip there, you can see the wonders of my laptop. And you could see something a little bit different if you already have this particular model. I already have mods and change out the parts. Like example, you know, that little pink heatsink for the bridge connection, what do you want to call that, bridge chip. And also I'm using the same heatsink. I'm gonna cut that in half and put on the larger plate of the heatsink, so I'll give it a little more thermal mass, cooling it down. And it's a little dusty. I'm probably have to clean it. In the near future, I am planning to put more aluminum heatsinks on those M2 drive. And I know I don't have the same RAM chips, but I might also put heatsinks on those as well in the near future. But any type of mods or repairs, you want to unplug the battery, so you won't shorting anything or fry something out. Just play safe and costly. And I might move those things, but for now I'm gonna probably clean a little bit some of the areas and unscrew the bolts, or not the bolts, the screws. So this should be all together 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 screws, I think. So for the fans, the GPU and the CPU screws all had to come out all at once. So let's start with the CPU. And by the way, this is not the proper way to, well, it's not, well, you do what you do. Just kind of give you an idea how to take things apart. So, you know, take your time, take things apart, especially laptops, because usually at least the newer models, a little bit more forgiving than the old ones, because the old ones have so many screws. I'm kind of glad these newer generations not. So pretty much make sure you put the screws in a nice safe place, and just pretty much go at it. And around this point, after you unscrew everything, you start lifting, carefully, because you don't want to rip the thermal pads. So a little bit here, you see how I use my hand to pry a little bit, not to try touch any more metal, but maybe grab another tool to pry a little better. I'm so happy with this high fix. It's just a little bit pry here and here. Take your time, no rushing. And you see it pop right off after that. And after that, it should be easy. And just slowly flip it. I'm keep that fan connection still. So just flip around, and I got be thermal pads on these lovely on the GPU memory modules or chips. It's all thermal paste. Let me zoom in. Sorry about the quality of the camera. Got plenty thermal paste on those. Those on the memory, on the GPU size are, well, look like start drying out. So that's a sign to be replaced. I gotta be thermal pads we got here to replace it. It starts to get a little flaky. It's not transfer heat. That's probably one of the reasons why the temperature is going up. But it's on the CPU side, but they're all sharing the same heat pipe, so that's why I'm gonna give it a little mod to help it cool down a little bit. And that damn dust everywhere. It's the fine dust. It's not like the other videos I see with the horrible thick layer dust. And yeah, one of the thermal pad did crack, so I'm gonna have to replace that. So good thing I have plenty of it. So let's go ahead and clean this up and take our time at it. So let's go take a moment to clean, especially all the memory on the GPU side. So it kinda suck. They didn't use thermal pads. Granted, it's nice, put thermal paste, I guess. But whatever. So paper towel, just wipe this shit off. Take your time, make sure you're not grabbing, that little resistant by the GPU and CPU. If they have it, just go over it, just clean, go dry clean first before you use alcohol. you pretty have an idea, you know, how to clean it. I turn off the camera because I got more detailed cleaning the process and the GPU. So now we go measure the thermal paste. Oh, not thermal paste, the thermal pads. Since I got one big, huge 50 by 50 millimeters or something like that. Is it 50 millimeters? Something like, yeah, 50 millimeters. Anyway, and 1 millimeter thick. We'll go ahead and measure where those memory modules or chip, what do you want to call those? It's only 4, so we only need 4. So how I measure it is like completely, you know, measure on the chip itself. So I'll show you how I do it. When you start cutting and measuring, make sure you have something underneath it. Cut a razor blade, not on your lovely cheap fold-out table or anything you have. So right now I'm gonna measure off camera and probably put it back on the table to show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna measure twice before. I rarely measure twice and not one or twice because I don't want, you know, redoing it. Measure twice, cut once type of deal, something like that. So anyway, here I am, just get it set up, try and find a marker, I think, from this point, wherever it is. So you could tell I'm trying to measure right in the corner, try to figure, yeah, right in the corner. So you make your mark right on the edge of the chip. Zoom in a little bit closer. Hopefully the camera not to do that crappy pixelated, but it'll get worse anyway. But here we go, make my little mark just like that. So cut that part out and we just do my favorite sloppy way to cut things or measure it. Maybe just goddamn camera. This camera gave me so much disuse, so there are the steps I use. Okay, let's try to make a straight line. And straight, and I mark my table. It's okay. Could erase the permanent marker by using alcohol. Alcohol make things a lot easier. See, just like that. Problem solved. Especially if it's not a straight line, especially this thermal pad have protection plastic over it, you could do it over again. Let's try this again. This might take a moment. And straight edge, and of course it moved. Closer look, and let's go ahead and wipe that off. Annoying. Oh well, let's try this again. Line it up, make sure it's on it. Straight. And I'll mark my table again, of course, but it'll look acceptable for now. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's try to see how that look on the laptop. I'm just gonna double check here. Make sure it look right. Okay, I think we're gonna cut it now. So, get something underneath it to nice cut straight edge. So, I'm gonna cut right on the edge of that line. So I'm gonna use all full force, cut it through. Okay, a little bit more here. After that, cut clean. Just line it right through on the edge. Put some pressure. Do a little wiggle action. And it's almost cut through. Need a little more. A little bit more. How about here? Try this again. Let's do it, but let's. Whoop. Come on. Yes, cutting I think this razor blade's dull. But hey, we got it! Nice. Now, let me measure it real quick. It'll look fine. Alright, let's let you guys see what I'm doing here. Get it out of the way. So, honestly, that looked good. I just need cut about 4 more. So I'm gonna do my little dirty little trick. Just mark it right at the edge on the chip. Well, maybe use something else. Thought about cutting with the well, can I make a little mark on it? Nope. Thought it, but it won't work. So a marker will do. Just a little smidge here, there. Just a little line there, so I just cut right there. The fun part of it, you can make multiple cuts. I'll show you how I cut it. Let's make our first cut right here. Just a little wiggle action, doesn't hurt. After that, you sounds that one together instead of making multiple markable lines. So that's what I do. Just go ahead, just layer. Look like I'm gonna probably get like maybe 3 out of it. Try and line it just right. And look close enough. And yeah, just hold it and this little cut there. And pretty much you just repeat it. Like, yeah, I'm only gonna have enough to make 3. I need 4, so I got more little pads, so I'm gonna use that little extra for the damaged one. So yeah, it's nothing to go waste. You always keep what you have. So I'm trying to make it perfectly straight before I make the cut. I'm trying to make it perfectly straight, but I know nothing's not perfect in the world, but perfection I'm trying to try for. But that should be good enough, so I'll just go ahead, YOLO it, just good enough. Try to make it straight, just use gravity. But so far it's giving me a headache. But I think this should be good enough for now, more or less. And it'll take forever. After you done the multiple cuts, sadly, in next episode I'm gonna show you put it on. It's not too really hard, but there's one of the custom heatsink I'm gonna start slapping on. It's kind of grungy, but it can't be helped. But I hope you like this first video part of the series, because I'm gonna have to make multiple, because the camera's editing retarded and I don't want to do 4K rendering for like 2 hours, because it's gonna take like 4 hours to render. So hope you like and subscribe. If you do, the part 2 be coming up shortly. So you guys take care, have a nice day.